Welcome Sagittarius to your reading for the month of May 2025. So because this is already late, thanks to complete failure, technical failure of my recording equipment, which has been an ongoing nightmare, I'm not going to delay any further. Let's see what your preview card is, Sagittarius. So we've got the Two of Swords in the reverse position. It feels like you're having difficulty making a decision of some kind, or you've come to a place where you feel like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, and whatever choice you make it just feels like one of those really difficult dilemmas that you've come to. But I do feel like it's not how you think it is. I do feel like there's more to this, and you may need to broaden your horizons a little bit, which is unusual for me to be saying that to you, Sagittarius, out of anyone. It just feels that you might be not understanding the actual there's more, that whatever this is about, there's more to it than you realise. For instance, if you feel like you've only got two options, there's so much more that you have available to you that you don't realise. George has obviously decided to join us for your reading. You should be honoured if you can hear him. He's singing at the top of the stairs, which is where he likes to sing, because I think he likes the acoustics from the top of the stairs. So anyway, without further ado, this is for your Sun, your Moon, your Rising and your Venus signs, and it is a general reading, so please take what resonates and let the rest go. If this reading does resonate for you, Sagittarius, and you would like information on a private reading, then you can either email me, revelationtarotgb@gmail.com, or you can book directly into my calendar, and both of those links are in the description below the video. So let's go. Let's find out what's going on for you this month. So we're looking at your general energy, your opportunity, your challenge, your unforeseen events, and your advice. It looks like you're having a bit of a complex month, to be honest, Sagittarius. So in your general energy, I forgot to mention as well, sorry, it's a good time to book because I am offering 20% off my live readings as well. So just thought I forgot to mention that. In your general energy, we have the Eight of Cups in the reverse position. You really wanted to give up on something here. You were at the point of jacking something in, completely giving up on something, completely walking away from something. But I say you were. You won't though. You'll battle through whatever this is, and you will have a change of heart, or you'll give something one last go. But it does feel like you feel like you've come to the end of your tether almost with something or someone, Sagittarius. Knight of Swords is in your opportunity. I think when the Knight of Swords comes into a reading like this one in the opportunity, it's about this is time to start fighting. This is about not giving in. It's about drawing on all your reserves and giving it everything you've got, even though you don't feel like you have much, but you do. And this is where you, for some of you, it almost feels like the fight of your life. I don't know why, but it just does. And then the Nine of Wands in reverse is in your challenge. And it's exactly like exactly what I was saying, is that you just don't feel like you have the strength or the resilience or the determination to fight this, but you know you have to. It's like, you know, when people say, oh, you know, you're so strong and you know, you're doing amazingly, and then you hear people say, yeah, but I don't really have much choice. You always have a choice. You can choose to fight, or you can choose to give up. That's the choice. And you're choosing to fight, but you were very close to giving up. The Four of Cups reversed is in your unforeseen events. And this is you choosing happiness. This is you choosing the path to positivity, knowing that things will get better, knowing that nothing stays the same, knowing that nothing is permanent. So if we're going through difficulty, it won't last forever. We will come out the other end of it eventually. And it's knowing that you just got to keep going, and eventually this will pass. Which is unforeseen, because when you look at the beginning of this reading, you definitely were very, very far from feeling like that. I think you felt a bit helpless and a bit you couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And then in your advice, we've got the Ten of Wands. So the advice here is that it's going to be, it does feel like this is a tough time for you, some of you Sagittarius. And this is just going to feel like one uphill struggle, I think, this month. But I think the harder the struggle, the bigger the reward. And it's just saying, keep going. Yeah, it's going to feel like it's getting harder before it gets easier, but it will be worth it. You just got to put up that fight, Sagittarius. Anyway, let's clarify. Eight of Cups reversed. Two flippers. The Hanged Man in reverse. And the Eight of Swords. So the Hanged Man in reverse is just a feeling of it feels like you feel very exposed, very uncomfortable, like you can't find your place, you're out of your depth, nothing feels right for some reason. The Eight of Swords, and there's also a feeling of being suffocated in that energy. It's like you can't get away from it, you can't breathe, you feel consumed by it. The Knight of Swords in your opportunity, clarified by the Seven of Swords reversed and the Three of Wands reversed. So you've got to put up this fight now. You don't have to. Like I said, it is a choice. You don't have to. But I think the way your brain works, Sagittarius, this is where it ends up being an absolute, what's the word? Is a gift. This for you, this is a gift, because if you didn't think the way you did, you quite possibly would have just not even bothered fighting, or you would have felt like giving up. But because you will go into some very deep and you know, you'll do some very deep thinking, some very philosophical thinking about this whole situation, and you'll come to the conclusion that You know, this is happening for a reason. I know I've got to fight this. I know I'm meant to fight this. I know I don't want to, but if I do, I know that, you know, the end result, or when I look back, it almost feels like, you know, this is a time of change and metamorphosis. So the Seven of Swords in reverse. It's like you're trying to put... everyone has that kind of negative energy and positive energy, the angel and the devil, you know. It's like you're trying to put the negative or the devil energy out of your mind. You're trying to ignore it, because it is there. It's not like you can just make it disappear. It is there. It's nagging away at you, saying, you know, why are you doing this? Why are you bothering? You know, it's going to be a waste of time. You're just making your life harder. It's all that stuff. But you are literally treating it like the enemy, which is good. The Three of Wands in reverse. There's definitely this feeling of escape, wanting to run away from whatever this is. But you're having to face it head on. You're having to fight. You know, come out fighting, fight for yourself, for your future, whatever this is about. It does feel like it's about you. It doesn't feel like you're fighting for someone. It feels like you're fighting for yourself. Then the Nine of Wands reversed in your challenge. Clarified by the Three of Swords reversed and the Knight of Wands. Three of Swords reversed. So like I said, you really haven't... You're fighting against so many... You know, the resistance here to just... You know, do the easy thing. Just go and lay down and not worry about anything and just... let it pass, whatever it is, but you know that that's not the right thing to do. The Three of Swords in reverse is, it's understanding that this is actually your path to recovery. It's always darkest before the dawn. And then the Knight of Wands is you. And that's who you've got to pull out of the, you know, that Knight of Wands is you, the fire energy, the young, vibrant, strong, passionate, willing fire energy that you are digging deep to find. And then the Four of Cups reversed is clarified by the Two of Pentacles reversed and the Wheel of Fortune reversed in your unforeseen events. So you're choosing to keep going towards that path of happiness and positivity. The Two of Pentacles reversed. You're not quite sure how you're going to get there. It feels very... It's like it's not a clear path. You know, even if you were given a map, it wouldn't help. It's just... You just have to hope for the best. It feels very chaotic in your mind. But you just have to keep going. And then the Wheel of Fortune reversed. You know there's no guarantee. It's like, even though you're saying to yourself, this, you know, the other side of this... Whatever happens, whatever's on the other side of this, it won't be this. And you know, there could be more, there could be more challenges, or there could be more, there could be much better things, you don't know. So the Wheel of Fortune in reverse is just saying, look, nothing's guaranteed, and you know that as well, because you are very philosophical. You're quite realistic. The Ten of Wands in your advice. Clarified by the Five of Wands reversed and the Nine of Wands. So the only way you can make this easier is by just don't fight with yourself. You're the only person that's in this battle. And that's the biggest battle, is you're fighting with your own with your own conscience, with your when I say you're an overthinker, Sagittarius, you're not an overthinker in the way of you'll overthink something which is a pointless exercise. You will overthink something in a very deep way. So trying to think of an example. I can't think of one. I know I'll think of one as soon as I've finished this reading. Light. It's like you'll look at a light and you'll think it's fascinating that you know, the mankind invented light. But then you'll go one step deeper and you'll start thinking, but no, mankind didn't invent light, because light already exists. But mankind's managed to replicate light. It's an artificial kind of light. But even then, that's amazing. And then you'll start going even deeper. I don't know how to explain it. It's like that, but someone else could overthink a light in a very pointless way. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyway, you'll go deep into the philosophy of it, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's your biggest battle, is this fight is with yourself, and you've just got to try and shut that down, because otherwise you're going to wear yourself out. The Nine of Wands is how persistent you are. You are very persistent. You're very resilient. It's like you can multiply yourself into this army, and imagine that army going forward, and you'll do absolutely fine. Honestly, I think that this is happening for an incredible, amazing reason, and it's the shake up. It's the storm before the calm. It's the, you know, it's the I don't know. It just, this is like the final. The pressure cooker's going. It's gonna blow before then. Finally, everything settles and you can see the new land, if that makes sense. So let's do your oracle. So I'm using this new deck, which is called I think it's called the Z108. I have difficulty knowing what it's called because it's a bit confusing. But it is a hybrid of lots of different things. Like there's some character cards in here, personalities. There's also some timing cards. There's some yes no cards. There's let's see, I'm going to pull 3 just to do you a mini reading. Okay, so the first one is rings, and it says contracts, agreements, bonds, strong connections, unions, partner, counterpart, lovers, telepathy, like-minded people, committed partner, engaged, interconnected, and soulmate. It's a little bit like the Two of Cups, and a little bit like yeah, it's more like the Two of Cups. And then we've got library. And it says knowledge, learning, history, information, research, books, pastime, archives, hidden documents, search, secrets, looking beneath the surface, author, reading and writing. And then the last one is hot air balloon. Balance, uplifting, freedom, going with the flow, rise above, don't resist, new perspective, untouchable, defying gravity, continuous flow, ascension, view, elevate and feeling good. So when I put all these together, this, interestingly, this two, the two of the rings, doesn't feel like you and someone else. It feels like you are coming to an agreement with yourself. It's like this is where you decide to keep going, to put in the fight. It's you and yourself, and you're coming to an agreement with yourself. You're making a contract with yourself. You're saying, right, this is it. I'm going to do this. We're going to do this. The way you speak to yourself, like you do, we are going to do this and we're going to get through this. And then we've got the library, which is you are looking beneath the surface. Don't go too deep though, Sagittarius. Of course you need to look below the surface. Don't go too deep. Just get to the point where it's enough for you to give you that reason to go on, and you don't need to go any further. Once you've got your why, once you've got your reason, that's all you need. And then the result is the hot air balloon, which is the freedom. You're rising above things as well, which obviously makes sense. You're rising above the resistance. You're rising above the negativity. So yeah, new perspective. Feeling good, because you know you can change how you feel. Bring your own positivity and make it happen. So yeah, I mean, it's really interesting but tough reading for you, Sagittarius, but I think it's for I think, you know, when you look back at this at the end of the year, you'll be like, that was tough, but my God, I can see now why it happened. So thank you so much, guys. As always, thank you for your love, your support, your encouragement and your engagement, which I return to you tenfold. I will see you next time. Enjoy the journey.